Welcome to First Unitarian Society of Minneapolis, the birthplace of congregational humanism. We carry on that tradition of free thought today, dedicated to promoting a free search for truth, meaning, and justice. Our web address is firstunitarian.org. Thank you for joining us.
Well, you're here. You got here. Welcome to the First Unitarian Society on this sweet Sunday morning in Minneapolis, Minnesota. This is a day to celebrate and to find joy right here together. Today we are having a joy fest because whatever is going on in the world, whatever pain and hardship surrounds us, and in order not to look away, but rather to persist in resisting the powers and principalities of the world, we need joy. Experiencing joy is an act of resistance that makes it possible for us to go out and do what needs to be done. So you're invited to participate in as much or as little of this joviality, to move or to stay still, to laugh or to cry, and just generally to be present in whatever way suits you this morning. Let us remind ourselves of the need to play and laugh and have joy humbly as we live on this magnificent land and its vibrant waterways, a place that is the cultural and spiritual and indigenous homeland of the Dakota Oyate. May we do more than speak words and endeavor to work more closely and more reparatively with the people whose homeland we occupy. We are a multi-generational community, and there's always room for families and kids here in the Assembly Hall. Of course, there's programming for our kids also at the same time, but we welcome your presence and your movements and your sounds here in this room. And if you so choose, childcare is available down the hall to the left as you exit this space. If you're with us online, I hope you're watching through YouTube, because there you can use the chat to say hello to your virtual companions. If you joined the live stream on our website and you're not yet on YouTube, just scroll down a little bit and there's a link. You can see it on the screen. Just click on that and you will magically be in a place where you can chat with each other. You're going to hear the word joy a lot today. If you're a noise-making type of person, in a moment you can get up to get a shaker from the basket, maybe some bells, and I'll just invite you, anytime you hear the word joy, to make a joyful noise all through our time together. So now I invite you, wherever you are, to take a moment to welcome this beautiful morning, to greet those around you, perhaps make a special effort to say hello to someone you've not met. If you're online, say hello to each other in the chat so that others can connect with you. And folks in the house, you can wave to those online using that camera when it turns I think it has to turn toward you before it can see you. But anyway, this is also a great time to use the QR code on the screen to access an order of service or to get a bell or shaker. Welcome, everyone. Say hello. So let us breathe, settle into this time and space, prepare ourselves for this joyful time together. Here's a poem written by Rosemary Watola Trommer, written for her daughter just this past Christmas Eve, and it's called Kinetic Joy. It's perhaps like billiards, in which the cue ball collides with another ball, and the kinetic energy passes on to a second ball. That's how it is when you, in your joy, collide with me in a hug, and your joy passes on to me. My every molecule vibrating as your bliss becomes my bliss. Your joy becomes my joy, until I'm dizzy with it, spinning with it, rolling around the room with it. In fact, it's what I was made for, to be moved by you, by your joy. So Jane is coming to light our chalice flame, and those of you at home are encouraged to create a little bit of light with a candle or a flashlight right along with us. Our flames everywhere all at once this morning are brought to life with the words of Julia Corbett Haymeyer. I invite you to read them aloud together. We light this chalice in celebration of joy, the flickering flame of a candle, a flame that shimmers, that dances, that cheers, a flame and encourages us in hard times, the welcoming flame of this community, with these words calling us to celebrate joy. We have kindled our flames. So if you haven't figured it out already, today we are engaging in practices and activities to incite joy. So with that in mind, Phil and Valerie are going to tell you a story called The Wise Fool and the King.
Once upon a time in a small...
Hang on, Valerie, it's not on yet.
I think it's, they do it.
Okay. All right. Once upon a time in a small kingdom, there lived a king who prided themselves on being serious and wise. They were a good and fair king who spent their days attending to all the matters of the kingdom, but they rarely smiled.
One day, a wandering fool. This is what they used to call court jesters. It was the court jester's job to make the people of the palace laugh. So they were silly pretty much all of the time. Anyway, a wandering fool arrived at the palace wearing colorful clothes and a hat adorned with jingling bells. The fool danced into the court, laughing and juggling, much to the amusement of everyone. Everyone but the king, that is.
"What use is this foolishness?" they asked. "Life is serious, and your antics serve no purpose here."
The fool bowed deeply and replied, "Your Majesty, I respect your wisdom. May I ask you a serious question?"
"Of course," replied the king. Serious questions were, after all, their favorite type of question.
"What is the purpose of life?" asked the fool.
The king thought for a moment and said, "To live wisely, make decisions for the betterment of the kingdom, and leave a legacy."
The fool laughed. His bells ringing. "A noble answer, but tell me this. When was the last time you laughed, danced, or did something simply for the fun of it?"
The king frowned. He couldn't remember.
The fool continued, "Your Majesty, wisdom is important, but joy gives wisdom its light. It is in laughter and play that we remember why we toil and strive. Life is not only about legacy, it's about being alive in this very moment." And to prove the point, the fool taught the court a silly game where even the sternest ministers giggled like children.
The king, initially resistant, was soon drawn in, laughing as they hadn't in years. At the end of the day, the king said, "You have taught me a lesson greater than I imagined. Wisdom is not diminished by silliness, it is enriched by it."
From that day on, the king made time for laughter, play, and foolish things done simply for the fun of it. And the kingdom became not only prosperous, but joyful.
Oh my, this story, of course, is all about reminding us that joy and silliness and fun are more important than we often think. They aren't an escape from important things. They enrich important things and make it possible for us to do hard things. Seriousness cannot be all that there is. Being grim and dour just cannot be all that it's all about. So, what if the hokey pokey really is what it's all about? Ready to sing and to move? Standing is a good idea if you're able. Feel free to move into the aisles or even to come up here to help me out. Let's go.
The A trigger warning. What I'm about to share references suicidal ideation. Please take care of yourselves. This passage from Rebecca Ann Parker's book, Proverbs of Ashes, is about a time when Reverend Dr. Parker was in deep despair. In the midst of that, she found herself in a situation where that changed everything and helped her to find a different kind of joy. Reflecting on that moment, she writes, "I was in deep trouble. I'd lost my marriage. I'd made a personal sacrifice that led to nothing but sorrow. The isolation in which I surrounded myself accumulated. I could not break the spiral of anguish and self-directed anger. For nearly 2 years, night after night, I had been pacing the parsonage halls, caught in a relentless rage and grief. One night, I came to the end of my will to live. I just wanted the anguish to stop. It was spring, a cold, clear night. I lived at the top of a hill above Lake Union, and sometime after midnight, I left my house and started walking down the hill. The water would be cold enough. I could walk into it, then swim, then let go, and sink down into the darkness. The thought was comforting. I had no second thoughts. I was set on my course. At the bottom of the hill, I had only a small grassy rise to cross before I came to the water's edge. I crested the familiar rise and began the descent to the welcoming water when I was caught short by a barrier that hadn't been there before. It looked like a long line of oddly shaped sawhorses laid out to the left and to the right, the width of the grassy field. In the dark, I couldn't see a way to get around either end, but it looked like I could climb over in the middle. I quickened my pace, impelled by the grief that wouldn't let me go. As I got closer, the dark forms before my eyes seemed to be moving. I squinted to understand what I was seeing. The odd, bunchy shapes were a line of human beings bundled up in parkas and hats. The stick shapes weren't sawhorses. They were telescopes. It was the Seattle Astronomy Club. Before I could make my way through the line, one of them looked up from his eyeglass and, presuming me to be an astronomer, said with enthusiasm, "I've got it perfectly focused on Jupiter. Come, take a look." I didn't want to be rude or give away my reason for being there, so I bent down and looked through the telescope. There was Jupiter, banded in red and glowing. "Isn't it great?" he said. It was great. Jupiter was beautiful through the telescope. The amateur astronomer focusing the lens didn't know me. He assumed I was there because the night sky was a wonder to behold. It would be wrong to think of this moment as one in which joy triumphed over despair. Such a view assumes that bad feelings need to be excised or suppressed by stronger, better feelings. Peace or happiness or even survival are imagined to be accomplished by cutting something out or dominating some aspect of the self. Viewing the soul this way internalizes violence. I did not defeat negative feelings of anguish and despair because I saw something more lovely and good. Rather, I became able to feel more. My feeling broadened. Pain, sadness, and despair were not eliminated and overcome. I embraced them with a larger heart. The ordinary inclination of human beings to share what pleases them, the delight of being awake to the beauty of the night sky, the cool air, the grass beneath my feet, these returned life to my senses. The commonplace translated itself into a deeper knowing. There is a web of connection we live in that is greater than sense can tell.
First Unitarian Society is a congregational humanist community. We are here for each other, our neighbors, and our planet, and one manifestation of that is our caring team. I'm a member of that team, and we're here for you. All the time there is simultaneously both joy and hardship in our midst. If at any time there's something happening in your life that you'd like to share with the care team or with this community, or if you need some support, please send a note to joysandconcerns@firstunitarian.org. You can also do this using the contact form on our website. After the assembly, you're invited to stop by the card basket downstairs to send a note to folks you're especially thinking of today. We've not received any specific joys or concerns to share this morning, and yet I know we all are aware of those who need a little extra support or affirmation. Today I share the happy news that next Saturday, April 26th, Reverend Kelly Clements will be installed as the settled minister with the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Ames, Iowa. We celebrate with her and with them. It's a happy match indeed. Heather Martins and David Morse lost their friend Ruth Smith on April 12th after a month of hospitalization. Ruth had a heart of gold and will be missed. She was 56. Jay Elkerton let us know that he unfortunately fell while biking and broke his pelvis. He may need surgery tomorrow. He said he welcomes any engagement as he expects it to be a long recovery. In addition, Marcy Dunnigan is recovering from a sprained ankle and thanks us all for the well wishes. Beyond FUS, many are working for the return of Kilmar Albrego Garcia, who was sent back to his native country of El Salvador as part of a high-profile federal operations last month. We hold him and his family in love, and hoping that he and all of those deported without cause or due process are being treated with some degree of dignity and humanity. We take some time in silence to connect with our shared humanity, to embrace and celebrate the beautiful range of human diversity, to commit ourselves to showing up for those who need support, and to remember all who are suffering. In addition to deportees, the list of the suffering is painfully long right now. Immigrants, federal workers, relief and social service workers, the people of Gaza, the people of Ukraine, the people of Myanmar, all those who lost loved ones in the roof collapse in the Dominican Republic. The list goes on and on. You're invited in these moments to reflect on all the joys, losses, griefs, and milestones in our lives, in the lives of those we love, and in the lives of all beings everywhere. May all be safe, happy, and well. A moment of silence.
So as we sing, let me demonstrate some hand movement to go along with Spirit of Life. While some of these are very similar, these motions are very similar to American Sign Language, I also want to say that this is this is intended to just be a way to embody the song, not to actually sign it. So we'll sing it twice so that you can move along with me if you'd like. Standing is one possibility, but you may remain seated if you'd like.
Oh,
we're going to change things up a little bit now. Coming around the room are some baskets with some supplies in them. The instructions are to take one white paper, one colored paper, and a writing implement, and then pass it on. One white paper, one colored paper, a writing implement. There's a basket on a pew in the balcony if someone would grab it and pass that around. There are also some supplies on the high tables at the front and the back if it doesn't come to you or if you need more. So let's just take a moment just to be sure everyone has one. This is a great moment to practice helpfulness. And while that's happening, let me give some instructions to those online. On the screen, you'll see some instructions. And if you can open a new window or go to menti.com and enter the code on the screen. Or you can also click on the link that's going to be in the chat for you. Or using another device like your phone, you can use the QR code on the screen. In any case, just see if you can get to menti.com. And if you use the QR code, you don't need the code when you get into the site. But then just wait for further instructions. So, okay. Meanwhile, back here in the assembly hall, how are we doing? Set aside that white paper and the writing implement. You don't need that just yet. This activity is just about the colored paper. And you will see that there is an animal on your paper. And this is your task. Should you wish to accept it, is to get up and move around the assembly hall, making the sound of your animal, looking for others of the same species. So think about that for just a moment. For those of you online, hang on just a sec. Shh, hang on just a sec. For those of you online, assuming you've gotten to the Mentimeter website, your task is to enter one at a time the animal whose sounds you're hearing, and you can enter as many as you like. So, I think you can go ahead, try to find people of your own kind. Oh, the sound! Jacob, can you go to the website? No, there should be 7 or 8 of each one of them, but I don't know how many people are in the room. Oh, how are we doing here? Hey. How are we doing? All right. Let's be quiet for a moment. Shh. You can stop your noises right now. Where are the ducks? Oh, some are in front, some are in back. Okay, there's some ducks. Where are the cows? Oh, there's a herd of them over there. Okay, where are the sheep? How about the donkeys? Oh, there's donkeys. Let's see, frogs?
It's not easy being green.
That's a good sound. Let's see, I'm missing somebody. What am I, the dogs? Okay, there's some dogs. Some cats? Meow. What else? Was that it? Bees. How'd you do up there? Did you find any partners in the balcony? Oh, man, funny. Okay, you can return to your seats. Thank you very much. I take it we didn't have a word cloud created. Okay.
Yeah, I have a word cloud.
You do? Are the people on it?
Yeah, all the animals. More cats, sheep, cows, than anything else.
Oh, okay. Wendy's seeing it somewhere. There's a website, it's not there.
For all the animals.
Okay, well, thank you, people online, for putting in the animal sounds. That's great. Oh, there it is. They heard you. Isn't that great? The sheep were apparently the loudest, and the cats. Oh, wow. That's great. Thank you. So, now we're going to sing again. A song to celebrate all this great diversity. It's Bill Staines' place in the choir. So just join in as you can and stand if you'd like. All God's critters got a place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing higher, some sing out loud on the telephone wires. Some just clap their hands or pause for anything you got now. Listen to the best. Bullfrog croaks and the hippopotamus moans and grows with a big to-do. And the old cow just goes, whoa. Off and the cats, they take up the middle while the honeybee hums and the cricket fiddles. The donkey brays and the pony neighs. Old coyote howls, oh. All God's critters got a place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing higher, some sing out loud on the telephone wires. Some just clap their hands or pause for anything they got now. Listen to the top where the little birds sing on the melodies with the high notes ringing. The hoop howl howls over everything. Jaybird disagrees. Singing in the nighttime, singing in the day. The little duck quacks and he's on his way. The possum ain't got much to say, and the porcupine talks to himself. All God's critters got a place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing higher, some sing out loud on the telephone wire. The old just clap their hands, pause for anything they got now. The song is still being sung everywhere by the ox and the fox and the grizzly bear, the grumpy alligator and the hawk above, the sly raccoon and the turtle dove. All God's critters got a place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing higher, some sing out loud on the telephone wires. And all just clap their hands and pause for anything they got now. All God's critters got a place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing higher, some sing out loud on the telephone wire. Some just clap their hands and pause for anything they got now. Woo! Thank you.
We've all got a place in life's choir. We are all worthy of joy, even though that can often seem difficult. This reading, titled Your Soul's Address by Aaliyah Kemmler, begins with a quote from Macrina Wiederkehr, who says, "I will believe the truth about myself no matter how beautiful it is." Kemmler writes, "I recently suggested to the congregation I serve as minister that they might want to try praying naked in front of a full-length mirror. Their response was, not surprisingly, slightly hysterical laughter. I didn't make up the idea, but got it from the priest and writer Barbara Brown Taylor. She recommends that from time to time we take off our clothes, look at ourselves in the mirror, and tell ourselves with as much tenderness as we can, here I am. This is the body like no other that my life has shaped. I live here. This is my soul's or my being's address." To face ourselves naked in the mirror with some measure of gentleness, much less reverence, is a hard assignment, I know. Many of us learned early on that we are either too much or not enough. Many of us grow up believing that essential parts of us are unacceptable, the way we look or feel or talk or love or learn. and we never seem to fully unlearn that shame. It is deeply spiritual to work to put down our self-loathing, to set it aside, even for a few moments. It is deeply spiritual work to learn to treat ourselves with compassion, to learn to see ourselves, if only in moments, the same way we look at something or someone we find beautiful, a newborn baby, the ocean, a sunset. A couple of years ago, I started wearing a pin on my coat that says, "You are beautiful." It is small, and most people don't notice it, or say anything if they do. But not long ago in Dunkin' Donuts, a place where I spend a lot of time and where a lot of life happens, I got up to the counter to order my coffee and realized the woman behind the counter was staring at the button on my coat. I also noticed the woman had small, raised red birthmarks all over her face. For a moment that felt like a long time, we were both completely still. I watched her as she took in the words, "You are beautiful." Then she raised her eyes to mine and said very quietly, "I'd like that." "I'm glad," I said, also very quietly. And we moved on to coffee.
It is, in fact, a joy-inducing activity to give thanks for this tender flesh, for heartbeat and breath and bone. Each of us is beautiful, each is whole and holy. And now it's time for those pieces of white paper and writing implements. I invite you to take a moment to consider what it is that you need to hear right now. Some word of affirmation, not about your physical appearance necessarily, but rather things like, "I'm so proud of you. You can make it through." Something that helps you to remember that you are worthy, that you are not alone. And then write it on that paper, or for those online, write one or several in the chat. Write it loud, write it proud. Mean it. So go ahead, write something on your paper. If you're online, I invite you to read over whatever's in the chat and just keep sharing words of affirmation and gratitude with one another. Here in this room, why don't you crumple up your piece of paper, make it into a ball, and then throw it somewhere else in the room. If you're in the balcony, it's probably best to keep it in the balcony. Whoops. So then after throwing your ball, why don't you find one to open up? Maybe it's one that landed near you, maybe it's one that someone helped you find. Open it up and soak in its message. Online, of course, you can look at what's in the chat and just choose what you need to hear today. Now you can keep what was in the ball that you picked up, or if it's not quite the right thing, you can crumple it up and throw it again. Did you get what you needed to hear today? I hope so. All these beautiful words of affirmation. Oh. Okay. How are you feeling now? I hope you're feeling energized and assured and maybe even joyful. We're going to sing again. This one's just for shits and giggles, as they say, as if the other ones weren't. The green grass grows all around, which will help us to get in the mood for Earth Day, I think. So go ahead and stand if you'd like, dance if you'd like, and let's sing. You can do the echo parts if you like, or you can sing with me, whatever works. There was a tree, all in the wood, the prettiest tree that you ever did see. A tree in a hole in the ground, and the green grass grows all around, and the green grass grows all around. And on that tree, there was a branch, the prettiest branch that you ever did see. The branch on the tree, and the tree in a hole, and the green grass around, and the green grass. There was a word missing there. And on that branch, there was a nest, the prettiest nest that you ever did see. The nest on the branch, and the branch on the tree, and the tree in the hole in the ground, and the green grass grows all around, and the green grass grows all around. And in that nest, there was an egg, the prettiest egg that you ever did see. The egg in the nest, and the nest, and the branch on the tree, and the tree in the hole in the ground, and the green grass grows all around, and the green grass grows all around. And in that egg, there was a bird, the prettiest bird that you ever did see. The bird in the egg, and the egg in the nest, and the nest on the branch, and the branch on the tree, and the tree in the hole in the ground, and the green grass grows all around, and the green grass grows all around. And on that bird, there was a wing, the prettiest wing that you ever did see. The wing on the bird, and the bird in the egg, and the egg in the nest, and the nest on the branch, and the branch on the tree, and the tree in a hole, and the hole in the ground, and the green grass grows all around, and the green grass grows all around. And on that wing, there was a bug, the prettiest bug that you ever did see. The bug on the wing, and the wing on the bird, and the bird in the egg, and the egg in the nest, and the nest on the branch, and the branch on the tree, and the tree in a hole, and the hole in the ground, and the green grass grows round all around, green grass grows all around. Yes, the green grass grows all around, and the green grass grows all around. Woo!
Ralph Waldo Emerson said that it is a happy talent to know how to play. That's what this reading is all about. Whatever the circumstances, we can still play. It's called Blessed Are the Magic Makers and was written by Teresa Honey Youngblood. One glorious spring day, I was on a field trip with a group of middle school youth venturing a short way down the Florida National Scenic Trail. We were aiming for a small swimming hole about a mile in on a new section of the trail, but about halfway there, we heard and then saw an arresting sight up ahead. 2 large eastern diamondback rattlesnakes who, upon hearing us come around the bend, had coiled their considerable bulk and were making a bone-chilling noise with their impressive tails, heads held aloft about half a foot off of the ground. We felt awed and chastened to have encountered them. Still, after waiting in vain for 10 minutes for them to move on, we turned and went back the way we came, intending to find an alternate route to the spring. But the alternative path we chose was through a section of grass that, while free of venomous serpents, was full of very large, very sharp sand spurs, a fact that we somehow missed until our whole group was a ways in. We could see the main path to the swimming hole ahead, but we had to pick our way through the spurs to get there. Behind us, of course, were the rattlesnakes. In the midst of our homegrown Scylla and Curbittus, what did the youth do? They started playing. A few of the more athletic youth sprinted ahead and then cheered the rest of us on as they picked the spurs from their socks and skin. As one made their way out of the pokey grass, she joyfully tossed her tennis shoes to a classmate wearing flip-flops. A few held hands in a vertical line and danced their way through, the first saving the two behind her from the brunt of the burrs. Neurochemically, panic and euphoria are kissing cousins. Blessed are the magic makers, often our children and youth, and some lucky adults who retain the charm, who can transmute one to the other in the most unexpected and needed moments.
Indeed, we can have much gratitude for mirth and for merrymaking, for jokes and laughter and silliness. May we never forget that playfulness is one of our best tools. I expect that you know that laughter has healing properties. Even when you're not in a laughing or joyful mood, practicing laughter can uplift the spirit and change your attitude. So let's try it. This might work best if you're standing, but you can sit or stand, whatever's more comfortable. There's several different techniques. Let's just try a couple. I think I'm going to use the handheld right now. So it's not yet. There. Now, no. Okay, I won't. I'll do it from here. It's okay, Bob. So first, take a deep breath and lift your arms, and then release on a ha 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 ha. Okay, again. Hee 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 hee. Ho 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 ho. Okay, now how about you turn toward each other? Just kind of pretend you're in a circle like that. No, let's see. Turn left side to right side, so you're facing the two sides of the assembly hall are facing each other. That works better. Okay. So now in the center of the aisle, you probably can move. The others of you may not be able to, but let's do that again. But this moving toward each other. So you're going. Okay, here we go. Okay, and how about this? Just laugh, it's contagious. I mean, it's really kind of funny when you just laugh. Oh, so how is that for some kind of joy? You may be seated. Hey, Marcy, it's you.
And I have to follow that. Hi, I'm Marcy Lessler, and I'm one of the co-chairs of the Social Justice Council here at First Unitarian Society. Once a month, usually at the third Sunday, we choose an organization to support through a special collection. Today's collection goes to WaterLegacy, especially chosen because we're by Earth Day. Last year, we had one of its people, Paula Maccabee, here in a special program after the assembly. WaterLegacy is about protecting our waters, especially from the pollution of sulfide mines. If you love the beauty of Lake Superior, if you love the benefits of the headwaters of the Mississippi, join me in supporting WaterLegacy, and we're going to have a special video.
I'm Paula Maccabee, and I work with WaterLegacy. And WaterLegacy is a grassroots nonprofit formed in 2009 to protect Minnesota's water resources and the communities who rely on them. And I'm here now at the confluence of the South Partridge River and the Partridge River. A group of us took a canoe trip yesterday all the way up to the site at the headwaters of the Partridge, where Polymet Corporation is proposing to put a copper-nickel mine. And we came up to the site first to make sure that Polymet's claims were false. It's not a brownfield site. It's a beautiful, biodiverse site. The canoe up the South Partridge and the Partridge River was breathtaking. And there are resources right on that site that would be destroyed if it was turned into a mine, including traditional plants that Anishinaabe people use for gathering and making medicines.
We're here exercising our rights, harvesting medicines in this land, this proposed site of Polymet mining. Misogo migo chongo manito nashkewa mashkiki nishnabe wewini abajia zeisega andagok. To be indigenous is to think about the future with the water, the trees, the animals. Everything is connected. And I think what mainstream America has done is despiritualize things. So much so, and even such a way that things have become objects and just things to make money off of and things of this nature. There's no connection there of life. This is why we do these things, for the protection of our Mother Earth and for life. That's why we're here. May you go. Thank you.
The Polymet sulfide mine is far too risky. Every sulfide mine in a water-rich environment like northern Minnesota has spewed out acid mine drainage or toxic metals. For protecting the water, that's 100% failure rate. But in spite of this danger, Polymet has gotten permits for its mine. And we've recently learned that state and federal agencies were actually in cahoots to cover up the fact that these Polymet permits are completely inadequate. That's why WaterLegacy, the Fond du Lac Band, and other groups are now fighting to block these permits in court. Minnesota waters need your help.
So this is the time when people need to get active. And that means call the governor, write the governor, call your legislators, talk to your neighbors to make sure that everyone realizes that Minnesota's precious waters, our life-giving waters throughout northeastern Minnesota, are now at real risk from copper-nickel mining. And Polymet is the first proposed mine, and if we don't stop this mine, there is a risk that waters in the Boundary Waters watershed, Lake Superior watershed, Mississippi River watershed will all be contaminated by sulfide mining in Minnesota.
We will sing out, there is only us.
As the baskets are passed, we invite you to give generously and joyfully as you are willing and able. You can also give online. If you use the QR code on the screen, it will take you to our online giving form. You can also stop by the office or mail in a donation. And if you forgot your money, you can also give later on today or even tomorrow. Please feel free to reach out to us with any questions about giving to the First Unitarian Society. Thank you for your generosity, and please be sure and stop by the table downstairs to sign a postcard about environmental protections.
Who do we write the checks to?
First Unitarian Society, and put in the memo WaterLegacy or special collection. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Heather Martens. I'm the chair of your Board of Trustees. And while the world is in turmoil, we at FUS are embracing joy by continuing full speed ahead in the process of calling our next minister for the fall of 2026. We are happy to announce that we've reached the next step in this process. The board has drawn up a slate of candidates for the ministerial search team. All FUS members will receive very soon an email containing names and biographical information about the candidates, as well as the process for placing about half of those on the team. The work of this team is critically important, and with that in mind, the people tapped for the slate come from a wide diversity of backgrounds, generations, connections to FUS, and perspectives. They're all great candidates, and they're all willing to commit significant time to a more than 1 year long process. Their job will be to listen and learn at a deep level what is important to you, the congregation. Our job as a congregation is to fully engage our heads and our hearts in that process. So get ready to put your whole self in with joy as we walk together into our next ministry and our future. I and the board look forward to making this journey with you. Thanks.
It's that time again. Time for some announcements. Who's got one?
Me! Today at 5 p.m. is another round of our popular child and family dinners. Don't worry about cooking. Just come and get to know your fellow FUS families. Stop by for yummy food, fun kid-friendly materials, and warm company. I really hope you'll hop over.
I can't really hop, but I can bring some shade. Anyone else?
This one is important for everyone. All beings. Next Sunday, be here for our Earth Day themed intergenerational assembly, which features a council of all beings. Yep, all beings. This is being led by the Climate Action Team, and our FUS youth will be participating. Please come.
Next Sunday sounds like a great day to be at FUS.
Nah. There will be a lot going on next Sunday, including our 4th FUS History Smash. 1951 to 1965. Growth and music in the post-war era. This will be held in the Upper Assembly Hall from 12:15 to 1:15. And you can check out the Friday update for links to read more of our history and to find out how to join by Zoom.
And did you hear that Rev Jullan won't be here for that? That's so sad. She's traveling to a conference in the Chicago area next week and will be away Thursday, April 22nd through Friday, May 2nd. Don't worry though, you can still reach her by phone, text, or email. Just be patient in waiting for a reply. Is that everything?
No! I just heard a new and exciting thing. This summer, FUS is offering a Songs for Justice summer camp, when musically inspired youth in 5th to 8th grade can unleash their voice and creativity. During the week of August 18th through 22nd, music, humanism, and activism will meet, and registration is now open.
Wow, I would love to do that. Let's talk about that over lunch, okay? Because if you're here in person, you can join us downstairs for a mini meal consisting of mulligatawny stew or caramel apple oats and applesauce spice cookies. Yummy!
Okay. What a wonderfully joyful place this is. So joyful that it must be time to sing again. Let's do it!
For once, and it's fun to have announcements, eh? Okay, it's time for this final moment of fun and joy, so we're going to do the balloons. Oh, that's you, Heather. So first, let's just learn the chorus to Magic Penny, and then there'll be some more instructions. So here it goes like this. Love is something if you give it away, give it away, give it away. Oh, love is something if you give it away, you end up having more. Okay, hang on for just a sec with the balloons. Let's get started. But you can give them to people in the front, that'd be great. And there's some balloons up there for you in the balcony. So here's what we're gonna do. Obviously it involves balloons. So if either latex or the possibility of popping concerns you, maybe this is a good time to go out into the gallery or the breezeway. So if you're handed a balloon, just hang on to it for a second. And as we sing, the challenge is just going to be to move the balloons around. Hopefully not the rules, well, not really rules, but if you can, don't let it touch the ground. Don't hold on to it once it comes to you. And then you can also go side to side. So whatever you have fun with, that's great. So I invite you to stand as you're willing and able, and as we sing, the balloon fun will begin. I'll sing the verses, and you can just join in on the chorus. We'll start with the chorus. You guys don't have any balloons over there. Okay, here we go. Love is something if you give it away, give it away, give it away. Love is something if you give it away, you end up having more. It's just like a magic penny, hold it tight and you won't have any. Lend it, spend it, and you'll have many. They'll roll all over the floor. Love is something if you give it away, give it away, give it away. Love is something if you give it away, you end up having more. Money's dandy and we like to use it, but love is better if you don't refuse it. It's a treasure and you'll never lose it unless you lock up your door. For love is something if you give it away, give it away, give it away. Love is something if you give it away, you end up having more. So let's go dancing till the break of day, and if there's a piper, we can pay. For love is something if you give it away, you end up having more. For love is something if you give it away, give it away, give it away. Love close. Let's thank everyone for their joyful and capable participation. Of course, our wonderful staff, especially Jacob, who did a lot this week, and Jane and Phil and Valerie and Jenna and John and Julie and Marcy and the tech crew and the cooks and their helpers and our greeters and our people working with our E-squared folks and so many more. You are a joy. You are our joy. And our joy cannot be taken away. So let's wrap up this time by extinguishing our chalice. Please join Jane and me in speaking the words on the screen. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. All these we carry in our hearts and in our minds until we are together again. And our closing words are those of Khalil Gibran on joy and sorrow. Your joy is your sorrow unmasked, and the self-same well from which your laughter rises was ofttimes filled with your tears. How else can it be? The deeper that joy carves into your being, the more joy you can contain. Is not the cup that holds your wine the very cup that was burned in the potter's oven? Is not the lute that soothes your spirit the very wood that was hollowed by knives? When you are joyous, look deep into your heart and you shall find it is only that which has given you sorrow that is giving you joy. And when you are sorrowful, look again in your heart and you shall see that in truth you are weeping for that which has been your delight. My friends, joy is flickering in wait for us all the time. So carry this experience with you as we go out into the world and use it to find and to share more joy in more moments. The world needs our joy. May it be so.